I'd always thought silence was a sign of peace in marriage. Turns out it was the sound of something dying slowly. For months, Emma had grown distant, smiles that didn't reach her eyes, hugs that lasted just long enough to feel polite. I told myself it was work stress. She'd recently taken on a new project at her firm, something that kept her late most nights. But deep down, I knew that wasn't it. We used to talk about everything, our day, our dreams, even the small stupid stuff that didn't matter. Now our conversations were reduced to reminders about bills, groceries, and whose turn it was to walk the dog. One Friday night, I decided to bridge the gap. I lit a few candles, played her favorite Norah Jones playlist, and waited. She came home around 10, still in her beige blazer, hair tied up carelessly, eyes glued to her phone. "Hey," I said softly. "You're late again. Yeah, sorry. Long day." She dropped her bag on the couch and walked toward the bedroom. I followed her, my chest tightening. I thought maybe we could spend some time together tonight. She turned briefly, her expression unreadable. "Ryan, I'm exhausted. Can we not do this right now?" "Do what?" I asked. "Talk?" She sighed, brushing past me. "You know what I mean, I did." But I still tried. "Emma, it's been weeks since we've even touched each other. I'm your husband. I miss us." She froze for a moment, her hand on the doorknob, and then turned with a smirk that wasn't playful. It was sharp, almost cruel. "Ryan," she said flatly. "No thanks. I already did it today at work." The words didn't hit me all at once. They hung there, twisting the air, and then dropped like stones inside me. What did you just say?" She didn't flinch. "You heard me." I laughed, but it came out hollow. "That's not funny." I wasn't trying to be. For a moment, I thought I'd misheard. Maybe she was joking, some cruel attempt at sarcasm. But the look in her eyes told me otherwise. Cold, detached, almost satisfied. I felt my throat tighten. "Emma, if that's supposed to be a joke, you crossed a line." Her tone softened, but not with guilt, more like boredom. "Ryan, I don't want to argue. I'm tired. Let's just go to sleep." I stood there watching her slip under the covers as if nothing had happened. My mind spun in circles, rage, disbelief, pain. It was like being stabbed, but the knife kept turning. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat on the edge of the bed, watching her back rise and fall, steady as if she didn't just rip our world apart. Around 3 a.m., I went to the kitchen and stared at the reflection in the dark window. I barely recognized the man staring back. The next morning, she acted like everything was normal. Made coffee, asked if I'd be home for dinner. My hands trembled as I stirred sugar into my cup. "Emma," I said quietly, "what did you mean last night?" She didn't even look up. "Don't make this a big thing. It'll only make it worse." "Make what worse?" I demanded. Finally, she met my eyes. "Us." That was the moment I realized she wasn't sorry. She wasn't even afraid. Whatever line she had crossed, she had no intention of stepping back. The rest of the day blurred. I went to work, but my head wasn't there. Every word she'd said replayed like a cruel echo. "I already did it today at work." That sentence became a curse. By evening, something inside me hardened. I decided if she was going to shatter our vows, I'd uncover every piece of it myself. No yelling, no begging. Just truth. That evening, I stayed late at the office, pretending to finish reports, but my mind was elsewhere. I pulled out my phone and opened her messages, carefully, quietly, pretending I was checking something for work. Nothing at first. Then a notification popped up from an unknown number. Curiosity mingled with dread, and I tapped it open. It was a string of texts between Emma and a colleague, someone named Mark. The messages weren't casual work chatter. They were intimate, teasing, and unmistakably romantic. Every phrase, every emoji carried the weight of secrecy. My pulse raced. My hands shook, but I kept scrolling. There it was, confirmation. "Can't wait to see you tonight," one message read, time-stamped yesterday during lunch hour. I felt my stomach drop. It was surreal, like a dream you couldn't wake from. Emma had lied. Not just once, but every time she claimed to be at work late. Every time she brushed me off, every time she said she was too tired. I went home later than usual, pretending I'd been stuck at a meeting. Emma was on the couch, scrolling her phone as if nothing had happened. The air between us was thin, brittle, charged with unspoken tension. "Dinner's ready," she said, glancing up briefly. I nodded, made my plate silently, and sat across from her. For a while, we ate in mechanical silence. I could feel the weight of every hidden message pressing down on me. Finally, I spoke. Careful, controlled. "Emma, can we talk?" Her eyes flickered briefly, but she didn't respond. I continued. "I know about Mark." Her fork paused midair. She set it down slowly, studying me as if deciding how much to reveal. "I don't know what you're talking about," she said finally, her voice calm. I leaned forward, keeping my tone low but firm. "The texts. The lunch yesterday. Don't pretend you didn't know I'd see them eventually." A silence stretched between us, thick and suffocating. I could see her mind working, weighing her words. "Ryan," she began, her voice steady, "maybe we should just forget it. Why dig into something that's not important?" "Not important?" I repeated, disbelief dripping from each word. "You slept with him. While I was here trusting you. That's not important?" She sighed, a deep, tired sound that sounded more like relief than regret. "You're overreacting, that was it." The dismissal, the lack of remorse, the calm arrogance, it broke something inside me. For years I'd tried to be the patient, understanding husband. I'd covered for her when deadlines ran late. I had ignored my own desires to make her feel comfortable. And this was the gratitude I got. I stood, set my plate down without a word. She watched unfazed. "Ryan," she asked. "Don't," I said, my voice quiet but unwavering. I grabbed my coat, keys, and left. The night air was crisp, biting, but I felt liberated. Not happy, not healed, but awake. The illusion of our marriage had shattered, and for the first time in years I could see clearly. I spent the night at my friend Daniel's apartment. We didn't talk much. He offered a beer, I took it, and we sat in silence. I stared at the ceiling, replaying every moment, every word, and then I realized something. Anger wasn't going to change anything. I didn't need revenge to feel whole. I needed clarity, space, and a life where I was respected, wanted, and seen. The next morning, I came home with a plan. I didn't rush into confrontation. I didn't send angry texts. I didn't post anything online. I gathered the evidence, the texts, the timestamps, the proof of her lies, and I decided I would confront her only once, calmly, with all the facts laid out. No screaming, no begging, just truth and my decision. When Emma walked in later, she acted as if nothing had happened. I waited until she was seated, relaxed, then laid everything in front of her. The phone with the messages, my own notes on her lies, the dates she'd deceived me. She glanced at it, then looked up. "I don't know what to say," she murmured. "I don't need an apology," I said. "I need honesty, and right now I realize that's something I'll never get from you." The look in her eyes flickered between guilt and irritation. She realized the game was over. No manipulation, no excuses, no casual dismissals. I was done. I didn't yell. I didn't storm out. I simply walked to the door, shoulders squared, heart heavy but steady. "I'm leaving," I said. "Not because I hate you, but because I deserve someone who wants to be with me." "Goodbye, Emma." She didn't try to stop me. She just sat there silent, a ghost of the person I once knew. And for the first time in years, I felt free. Not triumphant, not victorious, just free. The house was quiet when I stepped outside. The cool evening air wrapped around me like a shield. The city lights blurred as I drove, but the clarity inside me was sharp, undeniable. I had survived her betrayal, and I would rebuild. On my terms, in my time, without her shadows haunting me. For the first time in a long time, I knew what it felt like to breathe again.